Hello, I think I'm live, but I never know exactly when I'm live, so I'll just waffle a bit until I confirm that I'm live. Hello, started streaming less than a minute ago. YouTube, there's always a lag, so I'll just waffle. So today, look at these. These are not sunglasses. These are my new Aura glasses. Don't ask me if they work. I haven't. Here, I'm just going to mute myself. Hello, I think there we go. But I never. There we go. Right. So yeah, these are Aura glasses. I just got these in the post for a bit of fun. Everything's kind of, they're pretty cool actually, but apparently you've got to practice with them. So I've just got those. Just got these in the post as well, which I've been meaning to get for a long time, which is the Law of One Ra series, the Ra material, which I've always meant to read, just never got around to it. So some more books I'm probably not going to read for a few months because it's too busy. Just been for a walk down to the lake, fed the ducks with my daughter, which has been always good. There seems to be something with YouTube where whenever I go live, I can't see the chat. My last live, I couldn't see the chat at all. I don't know whether that's a gremlin or what it is, but I'll just talk you through some things that I wanted to share with you today because I was supposed to do a live with JC on Saturday night, but Saturday afternoon, I just went, really dizzy, and had to have a kip because, you know, getting on a bit. Or am I? Or is it Ascension? Well, I think I know what it is, but I had to have a little kip. And then I just decided to take Sunday and just really switch off. And, you know, anybody that, I've had a few people say, why didn't you email me back over the week? Well, because I switched off and I'm allowed to, and so are you. And, you know, and also on the email front, the most important thing you can do to stay in touch with me is click the links in the description beneath the video and sign up to my email list, because if you're on my email list, I can get information to you. And most people seem to appreciate my emails. I don't hammer you with stuff. I try to give you useful information. One of the things that I put up at the weekend is something I wanted to share with you, because when you've been researching stuff for 30 years, a lot of information is just part of who you are. You know, I'm not like Jason Q. I've got like piles of folders behind me and organized everything categorically, which is brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I've got stuff in my head. And one of the things I've talked about quite a lot since I started this channel is symbolism. And I'm just going to share my screen with you and show you this. So with the symbolism, I've been aware of it for so long that, you know, if I watch a movie with my kids, they're pointing it out to me, you know, oh, Dad, did you see the triangle? Did you see the hand over? You know, so it's kind of just part of my life. But when I put this post up on Facebook at the weekend, which I think you should be able to see here, yeah, I got sent this one, which said, you know, I said it's the same with the new children's hospital in Dublin, which I'm going to show you in a second. Satanism is everywhere. I'm going to look up English football stadiums the next day. So this is a picture of some stadiums, some NFL stadiums in the States from above, and it shows that they are all seeing eyes. Imagine these full of cheering people sending colossal amounts of competitive worshipping, idolizing energy and vibrations through the eyes all over the country, simultaneously projecting it into the universe. This is a satanic ritual. You know, these pictures are all fairly clear to see. And to follow that up, I posted this. I also put it in the community chat on YouTube. I quite enjoyed that, by the way. Thanks to the person in Australia that sent that to me, because it made me laugh. That was a gin that says COVID. So here, this is the most expensive children's hospital in the world, built on this tiny little island called Ireland. And look at the shape of it. Pretty obvious to me what it is, especially when you know what we know now about them and children. So, you know, and this morning, funnily enough, a friend of mine popped round, and him and I both have hernias, and both of us are suffering with those hernias because we refuse to go anywhere near a hospital. So if anybody out there knows any doctors in Ireland that are willing to perform surgery at home, let me know, because there's 2 customers here right now. So yeah, this is the This is the Children's Hospital in Dublin. They spent billions on it. I'm going to show some of the comments because some of the comments are interesting. By the way, if you are live chatting, I have no idea because I can't. I'll just go and check. No, see, it's not working. Live chat is not working. So obviously don't want us chit-chatting. So I'll go back to this. You know, people are saying, you know, it looks reptilian. The all-seeing eye equals Illuminati. By the way, the word ill, this is something I learned today. The word ill actually means evil. It's quite interesting, isn't it? So when we say we are ill, we are actually saying we are evil. Go and look that up. And by the way, all of this, don't believe me, you know, all of this is about you doing your own research. All of this, you know, all those people that are freaking out about stuff, that's what this is all about. It's about you finding out your inner knowledge and your inner knowing. So because people like Claire said, oh my God, and wow, hear from Robbie, that's why I thought I'd include this in today's live, because it is in your face. Absolutely. God help us all. God is helping us all. And it is everywhere. And when you see this symbolism, it really is everywhere. What's that one there? I think Michelle said she'd sent that. The Arndale Centre in Manchester. Yeah, of course it is. So when they blew up, I was there when they blew up Manchester. What year was it? I think it was 96, because I was driving a Fiat Panda and I felt the blast. I was driving into town to go shopping, which I didn't normally do on a Saturday morning. And I was halfway into town and boom, the car nearly lifted up off the ground. And funnily enough, nobody was killed, but they did rebuild the city centre of Manchester and put this big art. And Manchester's very important, ley lines and energy, industrial revolution, splitting of the atom, first computer. I mean, tons of things. Manchester's a very important place. Yeah, there it is. Look, Manchester's built on a 12-star grid line and lies on the spine of Albion, the male and the female dragon line, which travels up the country. I understand the energies were distorted by John Dee during his time in the city. I think I wrote to this person. So yeah, I'll keep reading. And had been utilized by the Cabal. Bombs always on these energy lines, no coincidence, all planned to feed the Cabal. Manchester is very significant. Yeah, it's basically saying the same thing. The Peterloo Massacre, the suffragette movement. Emily Pankhurst has the street's named after Emily Pankhurst there. There's a university building called the Pankhurst Centre. All needs to run to Manchester to be healed spiritually. Even in the Roman name Mamusium. And funnily enough, if you live in Manchester, you're known as a Mancunian. So that has continued. And the fact that it lies on a pair of breasts gives you the message that it is a return to the mother. No wonder I stayed there for 25 years. I was living on breasts. Love breasts. Anyway, check out John Dee and the Macrobes. This video is the start. I think I've asked Michelle, I've asked Michelle to come on the show because John Dee's a fascinating subject. John Dee was Queen Elizabeth I magician, and he allegedly sunk the Spanish Armada twice using magic and told her not to call her army. What's really, go and do some research into John Dee if you get time, because one of the most intriguing things about him is that he signed his letters 007. 007, obviously, is James Bond. Ian Fleming was in the club. But 007 is also short for Tubal Cain. Tubal Cain is the son of Cain, as in Cain and Abel. Tubal, but the Masons twist it to be cock and balls. So it's like one cock and two balls. So 007. And then go and look at the Masonic imagery in the James Bond films, especially, if I remember rightly, The Spy Who Loved Me. I think that was the one with Jaws in, where Roger Moore was running amongst the pyramids. Absolutely. I've got a great Roger Moore joke, actually. Do you want to hear it? Makes you want to Roger Moore. See, it's never too early for a shit dad joke. Right. So that's a bit about symbolism. I honestly think you should look into it, and a really good place to look into it is this website, which I've been reading for 10 years, called vigilanttcitizen.com. Symbols rule the world, not words or laws. And on here, you'll see loads of stuff. I'm on the Sinister Sites page because they literally build this stuff into buildings and into places. And really, everybody should look into the Georgia Guidestones. Everybody should know what's on the Georgia Guides. The $30 million installation, pure granite. I think it was installed in 1980 in Georgia. And on there, the most important thing it says on there, to keep the human population under 500 million in perpetuity with nature. They always put lines in like in perpetuity with nature like it's a good thing. But what you need to understand is having a human population under 500 million means 7 billion of us have to go. Weird, huh? Doctors say to clean earwax. That's an advert. Illuminati pyramids in France. So, you know, I mentioned the other day the pyramid at the Louvre, 666 plates of glass commissioned by President Mitterrand. Look into that. Look into these things here. The Israel Supreme Court is absolutely chock-a-block with it. There's one here I really wanted to show you. Kazakhstan, my God, it's everywhere. This one's really interesting. St. John the Divine Cathedral in New York, which clearly shows the Twin Towers being, you know, falling over. I think that was put up in New York in 1998. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, but it was certainly before 9/11. So predictive programming. This one, the EU Parliament, if you actually look at this, very clearly based upon the Tower of Babel, which, you know, if you know anything about history, it's well worth, you know, I'm not going to go on and on about the symbols on this website, but do your own research, and this is a fantastic place to start. There's tons and tons and tons of material on here. I'm trying to show you the picture of Babel so that you can see. It's just taking a bit of time to upload or download. While that's downloading, I got shown this morning, which is, yeah, so this is RTE in Ireland again. And there's a show in RTE called The Late Late Show, which is basically Satanism. Well, the whole of RTE is. So I'm just going to show you this for a minute. Right, stop there. See that symbol there? What is that? Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look. In fact, you've got it on your phone. If you go to your iPhone, if you've got one, oh look, see the App Store there? See that symbol? That's on your App Store. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Let's have a look. Compass. If you look at them, there it is. The Masonic compass, the square and compass. Oh, well, it must be a coincidence, Mark. Is it? Fuck, it's not a coincidence. So, what does this symbolize? Well, this is, there's the all-seeing eye. There it is, secret society stuff. There it is, just tons of it. Actually, this square and compass represents a cube. And a cube represents a 2D version. A cube is a 3D representation of a hexagon, right? So how do you piece all this together? Well, go to here. Let's go to hexagonal storm on Saturn. There you go. Here's a big storm on Saturn. I think you can fit at least four Earths into this. It's that big. And this has been raging for millions of years. So whenever you see a cube, a black cube, it relates to this. So Saturn isn't, you know, Saturn is a planet around whatever it is. I'm not saying Saturn in and of itself is evil, but I am saying that the people who have been eating our babies and running this planet, they believe this stuff and they believe in this symbolism. The symbolism is all about, each symbol has a frequency. The frequency comes into us. We're the creators, right? We are fractals of God. We have this creative ability that's been hidden from us, which is all to do with the law of attraction and all that. And those frequencies come into us, and then we create the Earth in their image, or the image that they want us to see it in. And this is my opinion based upon years of research. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying you should go and look it up yourself. Let's see if there's any live chat happening yet. No, still no live chat. 377 people. Hello, everybody. I'll keep going then, because I can't answer any questions. So this satanic dance, let's go back to this. So firstly, you can see that's very clearly the square and compass. Let's have a look a bit further. I mean, what the fuck is it? We've seen frontline staff doing dancing all the time. When did that become a thing? Well, it became a thing around COVID, didn't it? And these poor Muppets with their masks on. I mean, they're 6 feet apart and they've still got masks on. So they're breaking their own rules. There we go. The fuck is that? Great big pyramid. I mean, it's right in your face. And this is being broadcast. You know, when I walk around Ireland and I see people in their masks, in their car, on their own, it's because of this shit, right? And anybody watching this who wears masks in Ireland or anywhere in the world, all you've got to do is stop consuming this stuff. It's all you have to do. It's like the starting point. It's 101. Turn off the TV, don't buy the newspapers, and turn off the radio. If you do that for 2 weeks and drink alkaline water and stop taking fluoride toothpaste and go barefoot on the grass every day for 20 minutes, you will start to be cured from the satanic bullshit. So that's why I wanted to bring that stuff up. So what are the positives coming through at the moment? So this is all like dark negative stuff, but I've seen a couple of things that are extremely positive. Firstly, I think I wanted to show you this, which you might have seen already. The brilliant, beautiful soul that is Gina Maria Colvin Hill has been putting up these plasma videos for a number of weeks. She basically, Gina, if you go and subscribe to her channel, watch her stuff. She's just pure-hearted and lovely, and she has this ability to find this stuff and share it with us. That seems to be her mission. And she's been doing this with UFOs on the sun, all around in our sky, the black sun. But this plasma stuff is really interesting because this is from a CCTV camera in Dublin. She's actually found this in CCTV cameras across the world. If you're on the live with me and JC the other week, JC did the pendulum on this, and she said that, well, the pendulum said that this was Arcturians cleansing the earth. Let's have a look at it.
And you stop the fire, you got the burnt edges all around. That is what's happening to this plasma web because it's firing so much plasma that it's literally got burnt in the process. But it's not going to stop it because you know what it continues to do? It continues to reorganize itself and gather up enough energy from the surrounding plasma.
So that's fascinating. And anybody that says, all right, I tried to get before the ads, sorry. Anybody that says it's water on the lens, no, it's not. It's something else. Do I know what it is? No. But, you know, this is a time of intuition. This is a time of going inside. This is a time of listening to your higher self. And basically the best medium on earth said that is Arcturians cleansing the earth. So I'm going with that at the moment until I'm shown otherwise. But there's something else I wanted to share with you that made me weep like a baby the other day. And you'll see why in a sec. I'm going to find it on here. By the way, if you're friends on Facebook, thanks for being friends with me. I did put a thing up the other day saying, please do not post anything negative. I don't want to see anything negative. I don't want to see anything about people arguing or calling each other. That's all low frequency shit, and that's demonic shit. I don't want to get involved in that. So just don't do it. And if you do that on my Facebook page, I am going to delete you without warning. And don't cry about it because you broke my rule. So watch this. Here we go.
Come the power and the glory. We have come to answer the contrary's call from the 4 provinces of Ireland. Ireland, Ireland, together standing tall. Shoulders to shoulders, we'll answer Ireland's call. Come.
I mean, oh, she has me in tears again. I've watched that quite a few times. That is pure spirit coming through that girl. And it's not just about Ireland, it's about the whole world. And it's about freedom. And that is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Please go on my Facebook page and share it with everybody you can across the world, because this is the future. That little girl is the future. And that makes me very, very happy because we're not done. We really are not done. Right, stop being so emotional, Mark, and move along. So, full cabal. Now, if you haven't watched Janet Osbard and Cynthia Cotter the full cabal. I'm sure most of you have, but I go to BitChute to find her, and she released on the 11th the sequel, part 8, the sequel to the full cabal. So she did 10 parts full cabal. She did, I think it was a 4-part COVID series, and she's doing 10 parts. I think no, she's doing 17 parts. I think to the sequel to the Fall of the Cabal, and she's currently on part 8. So she's releasing them as she does them. Highly recommend you go and watch this and share it. And if you haven't watched the rest of them, go and watch all of these, because she is a phenomenal researcher, and she's red-pilled millions of people. And this is, even my daughter sat and watched this because she loves documentaries, and Janet presents it in such a way that it's excellent. So please go and watch that. What else have I got to tell you? Well, I have been, just turn this off. I've been saying since I started this channel about crypto. I said, look, I'm not an advisor, but what I'm doing and what my friends are doing, what I've told my friends to do, is to look into XRP. And the reason XRP is worth looking at, and this is a totally pragmatic thing, right? This is not about me making money, and it's not about having a view on whether money is evil or not, because I don't think money in and of itself is evil, but the energy that it's used for and everything else can be used for good and can be used for bad. And, you know, I think we are definitely moving towards a society within the next 15 to 20 years where there's no need for money at all. But before we get there, the bridge is going to be, I think, a period of everybody living in abundance, to the point where all need for theft and lying and stealing, and stealing is the same as theft, Mark. What am I thinking of? The word is, well, corruption. So I think we're moving into a system, the interim system, where it's impossible to be corrupt, and it's impossible to steal, because the system itself will know what your intent is and whether the money belongs to you. And all the middlemen are going to be cut out. And part of that process is involved in part of that process, potentially, and again, do your own research, potentially is this crypto coin called XRP. Now, XRP is not a true cryptocurrency. If you go and type in Mark Atwood XRP, the future of XRP on, I might have a look myself actually, see if it's still there. I did write about this a number of years ago. See if I can find it. It's not a true cryptocurrency because it was set up by a company called Ripple, and that company, you know, crypto is really all about decentralization, and this is not a proper cryptocurrency in that respect. So, you know, there's lots of things around XRP, I can't find that article, that are not perfect, but I do believe that at the very least, XRP could be being used to replace SWIFT for international bank payments. In a nutshell, that means that instead of the money leaving your bank account, if I was to transfer some money to my mum in England, it would come out of my bank account and it would go into the SWIFT system, and it might sit there for 2 or 3 or 4 days or whatever, and then get transferred from there to my mum's account. So there's this big middleman triangle thing going on. And while it's sat there in the SWIFT system, they are trading that money, trade. They're making loads off of your money, and then they pay that money down to my mum. And this is trillions of billions an hour, you know, you can imagine, worldwide. Not only does it slow down payments massively, but these bloodsuckers are sucking your money off you. And, you know, it's money you've been taxed. I mean, they've already sucked it off you at the tax point. They've already sucked it off you in the shop. I mean, they're just feeding off you all the time. So it does look very likely that XRP is going to be used to replace SWIFT. And what that means is that the money will go out of your account and get transferred into XRP, and then instantly transferred, and then transferred from XRP into the local currency, which means that it massively reduces that time. Now, you can imagine with millions and millions and millions of transactions going on every hour worldwide, how much money that would save, and how much more efficient the world would be just with that one thing. Which also means that if it's true, the value of XRP has been suppressed hugely over quite a long period of time. So the only reason I've recommended people get a bit of XRP is because currently XRP is about 50p, right? When I was recommending it, it was 20p, right? So if you bought XRP when I told you to, you'd have at least doubled your money by now. And you could have sold it, you sold your share back, you could have sold your original stake back, and everything that it makes from now on would be completely free because you wouldn't have risked anything. That's what I was trying to say, and that's what I've been trying to say throughout. I'm not giving you investment advice right now. I'm just saying that this XRP is currently 50, 60p cents, and people are talking about it going to $10,000. So if it does, then 100 XRP at the moment would cost you 50, 60 quid, but 100 times 10,000 is 100 is a million, right? So you might have £1 million. So my discussion about cryptocurrency is purely pragmatic. It's purely like, if you've got to spend 100 quid, go and get some. Don't buy it through Revolut, please, because Revolut doesn't have the ability to for you to transfer that XRP to somebody else or to another wallet. It only allows you to draw it out. What it does in Revolut is it converts it into your local currency and then allows you to draw that currency out, which is not great. What you need to do is get a wallet on exodus.io, and wherever you buy XRP, you can't buy on Coinbase anymore, but I think you can buy it on other places like Binance and Kraken.com. If you can't find it there, you will be able to find somewhere to buy it. But when you do buy it, don't hold it in a online wallet, transfer it to your own wallet, and Exodus is one of the best for that. So that's all I'm going to say about XRP. Also, something else that I was thinking about over the weekend, and for this, I need you to leave comments under the video because there's no live chat, so I can't actually respond to what you're saying. But it dawned on, I'm getting lots of people asking me questions about the fact that they're on low income, they've lost their jobs, they've got businesses that are not working very well, they're thinking of setting up a business but they don't know what to do, they want to become more sovereign in terms of their wealth and income. Well, if you don't know this about me, my background is in this. This is a a course I did. If you watch the video with Teo, you know what this is. This is a 7-hour course, DVD course that I did called The Technophobe's Guide to Internet Marketing Success. I know it's a bit cheesy, but it's true. And I made this course in one day off the top of my head. I know a lot about digital marketing. I built a business in the UK that's done a lot of money, and I've helped a lot of companies across the world for the last 10 years. This is my book, a bit dog-eared now, 147 pages of pure gold. The internet marketing manager for Jamie Oliver emailed me this after reading this book and said that he applied everything in it and increased Jamie Oliver's revenue by 2 million a year. I've got that email somewhere. It's a real story. So I know a lot about this stuff, and I was thinking, you know, this channel's kind of taken over my life, and I was wondering how I could be more of service to people. So one of the things I'm thinking of doing is setting up a sovereign wealth club, which is going to be about affiliate marketing, crypto, business opportunities, internet marketing, whether you've got a business or not. And it's a place where I'm just going to share knowledge and talk about, you know, better ways of looking after yourself financially, simple things that you can do, understanding money, understanding crypto and how to trade it. I've also got lots of friends who are experts in all these subjects as well, and I'll be pulling them in. And it's actually something I'm missing because I do love teaching this stuff. If you go onto markatwood.com, you'll see that you can get this for free. It's all there, so you go and watch that course for free on markatwood.com or atwooddigital.com, and that's a good grounding. It's a great grounding course, that, because that's based upon 20 years experience living and breathing it and doing it for real in the real world. So if you're interested in that, leave comments in the video below and I'll just see what kind of interest there is. And then I may well do that in the near future. And I will do it for free if you can't afford it, but if you can afford it, I'm going to charge you. So nobody can accuse me of trying to rip anybody off, because I'm not. I'm trying to serve you with whatever I've got. The other thing is I've got these, if you've not seen these are CBD balms. I've just got some more stock in. This is 27% for the body. This is made of beeswax and CBD, pure organic CBD. This one's 12% for the face and neck. And I've not got a link next to this because I haven't put any links up. This one's the lip balm, which is 7%. The feedback from people that we released this before Christmas, we had a bit of trouble with the Irish post, so it has taken up to 2 months to get the post in Australia so far. I don't think it's going to be like that going forward. We found out that the Irish Post Office was stockpiling the posts. So ironically, the people who ordered in January got theirs much quicker than the ones who ordered at the beginning of December. So it's been a little bit of trouble with the Irish Post Office in Christmas, but these are good to go. And I've got about 100 in stock. There's a starter pack. If you want to find the link to this, I think it's in the link tree in the description under most of my videos. It won't be under this one immediately, but if you look at the link tree, it says Mark Atwood Show links, link tree / Mark Atwood Show. In there has a link to that offer. So help yourself if you're on my, there is a discount code if you're on my email list. So make sure you're on my email list if you're not already, and I will be emailing about this again this week. So you'll get the discount code if you do that. So again, no chit chat, no chitter chatter on the, which is a shame because I would like to chat and answer some questions, but I think I've covered most of the things I wanted to talk about today. It's definitely this energy definitely is increasing, and it's very, very interesting. And I'm finding loads of subtle changes happening all around, and I'm finding lots of little miracles are happening all around my own personal life. And we're just going to hold on to that. So holding the line, wow, keeping the faith and holding the line seem to be like the watchwords at the moment. And I can only talk about them in terms of metaphor. So when it comes to holding the line, I remember sailing across the English Channel on a yacht when I was about 18, 19, and I'd jumped off the boat at Guernsey, and this finger here that ended up going right, it dislocated and pointed. It was like at a right angle there. I mean, that was really painful and horrible. And because it was a Sunday, the only person we could find that could help with it was a vet, and he just went like I was. So I've never forgotten. Because of that injury, when we were sailing back across the channel, we hit a force 10 storm, which I've only experienced once, and I was chained to the, I was hooked up to the boat, and literally holding on for dear life, white knuckles, and going. There's nothing I could do except just hold on. And I just remember back to that thinking, I could have easily died that day, but I didn't. And then this is all, as you go through life, these things are all kind of like giving you the confidence to go through this time, because, this is a case of, a lot of people are panicking, right? We're 330 days into 15 days to flatten the curve. So it's not surprising. And what's fascinating is that the mask wearers are just like, it's just part of their life now. They're just like, okay, this is what it is now. And it's like, what? So the complacency and the compliance is beyond belief. But there is really a separation going on. A bit like a gravy, those gravy things, if you're making gravy and you have to separate the fat out from the rest of it. It's a bit like that. Or it's a bit like getting an egg yolk and an egg white separated. And it's okay. It's going to be fine. And just remember, you're an eternal spirit having a human experience, not the other way around. And I'm going to probably change the name of this channel soon to Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. Somebody suggested that. I can't remember who it was, but I liked it a lot. And so I'm probably going to do that. So look, sorry I can't see you live chat. I'd love to have a chit chat with you. Hope you found some of that useful. I've got some really good interviews, 2 new poems coming out this week, and I'm writing a poem at the moment, which I already know is going to be the best thing I've ever done. So keep an eye out for all of that, and lots of love to you.